welcome. I appreciate the media being here. I know this is a lot going on in the Phoenix Mesa area right now, and this might not be the biggest story in town, but so I appreciate your taking the time to come to the Mesa Mayor's office and get caught up on some of the things that we're working on. To begin, if you don't mind, what I'd like to do is just mention a few of the stories that we hope that you're aware of that are going on in the city of Mesa right now, and then I'd be happy, of course, to respond to whatever questions you might have on these topics or anything else. To begin with, a week from today, I'm excited with the opportunity I have to give my first State of the City address at a breakfast meeting that will be at the Mesa Convention Center. Certainly welcome the media to that. Hope that you'll be there, and as well as helping us get the word out to anyone else in the community that would be interested in attending. It's going to be at the Mesa Convention Center. The doors will open at 7 a.m. Things will get rolling about 7:30. This will be an opportunity for me to reflect on my long tenure as mayor over the last 4 months, and to kind of state my case for what it is that I would like to see happen in the city of Mesa going forward. The theme of the event will be Next Mesa, probably a theme that is familiar to those of you that have heard me say anything over the last 4 months. And again, we'll be challenging the community to participate and to provide us with some feedback as to what their next Mesa is. In other words, what they would like to see in order to get Mesa to the next level as a community. What changes or what progress would they like to see in the community? So it's a very interactive event. We're hoping that people will participate and share their suggestions with us, and then we'll incorporate that into what we present at the event next Tuesday. Another story and another event that we had earlier this month that I think most everyone's aware of is earlier this month at a faith leaders prayer breakfast, we announced the One Mesa Pledge. That is an effort to point out that Mesa is a very diverse community, and it's a community that respects everyone, and it's a very welcoming community. It's a campaign that we started that, frankly, I think is never going to end. It's something that I plan on promoting and working on every day that I'm mayor, however long that might be. But it's been gratifying to see the great response that we've had so far. In just the couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks that we've had since announcing the pledge, there have been a couple hundred people that have signed on to express their support. Over 70 business groups have signed on. So we've got some good momentum behind the pledge, and we're going to continue to build on that. And this is an issue. The issue of respecting diversity and being welcoming as a community is something, like I say, that I plan on promoting and talking about every day that I'm mayor going forward. So, but I think we're off to a good start with the pledge. Also, I'm still recovering from being in Washington, D.C. last week. Had a great visit there at the U.S. Conference of Mayors annual convention. I think it was particularly useful for me as a brand new mayor to have the opportunity to go there and to learn from my peers what the best practices are that other mayors are using in their communities. We have a lot of the same challenges as other communities, and so it was a great opportunity, frankly, for me to go and steal ideas, to find out what people are doing and to see to what extent they have application here back in Mesa. It's a great event. I had the opportunity to have some personal meetings with a couple of different cabinet secretaries, and to just be exposed to a lot of good people and good ideas, and at the same time spend some good time with other local Arizona mayors that I have a great relationship with and a lot of admiration for, and to learn from them as well. One of the topics that was discussed at the U.S. Conference of Mayors is the Mayor's Challenge to End Veterans Homelessness. And that was an issue that really resonated with me while I was there, partly because it's obviously the right thing for every mayor and every city to be engaged in, but also because the city of Mesa next month will open our Veterans Court. This is something that we've been working on for several months. The at-risk veterans population everywhere, and Mesa included, has some special challenges. So it's important that we address those unique challenges in that population. So the City of Mesa had already decided that we were going to dedicate some resources and some personnel to addressing those challenges. And so in my mind, accepting the mayor's challenge to end veterans homelessness is very much consistent with what we already had in line. So since returning from Washington, I've talked with the members of our council, and there's strong support there for our community to join in that national effort to address veterans homelessness. So I'm very excited to do even more than we're doing now on that track. Mesa is, I think, well situated for a variety of reasons to be very successful in attacking the problem of veterans homelessness. For many years, we've had some strong social service agencies in the city that have been working on the issue of homelessness. We have obviously a East Valley Men's Homeless Shelter, a lot of other good social service agencies that provide counseling and address a lot of those issues. But this is not something brand new. Addressing homelessness is something we've been working on. But the additional emphasis on focusing on our at-risk veterans population, I think, will yield really good results, and I'm looking forward to working hard with our council and city staff to do that. Another issue that I just wanted to get your help in publicizing to some extent is that we are announcing today a next Mesa Art Contest. This is a contest that will be available for high school students that live or go to school in the city of Mesa. It will run from today through April the 30th. We're hoping that we get a good response to this. The winners of this, we'll have several categories of winners, but the winners will receive a scholarship to receive some art classes at the Mesa Art Center. As you may know, there's a large variety of art classes available at the Mesa Art Center, a wide variety of visual arts that are taught there. So I think there's a good motivation for aspiring high school art students to respond to this. And my selfish reason for doing this, frankly, is we're going to use the art from this contest to decorate the walls in the mayor's office. So I have a personal dog in this fight, and I'm really hoping that we get some good stuff as a result of this art contest. So thank you for any help you can offer to let people know about that. Also, another exciting event that's coming up the end of this month, February the 28th to be exact, is kicking off the spring training season in the city of Mesa. March is kind of, Christmas in Mesa. That's the big time of year for us. We're very excited about spring training. As you know, last year we had an exciting event in that we were able to open up the new Cubs spring training facility, the new Cubs Park. And you may recall that there was a big city event attached to that, where we had balloon rides and a lot of food and games, and it was just a really fun family event. We're doing that again because we're lucky to be opening up another Major League spring training park. We're going to have the reopening of the Hohokam Park that's been refitted to accommodate the Oakland Athletics. That's something we're very excited about. And so again, that event is going to be Saturday, February 21st, throughout most of the day from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I think if the families in Mesa and throughout the East Valley, frankly, will come over, I guarantee they'll have a great time. February 28th is when pitchers and catchers report. So for the diehard baseball fans, they'll have some actual fun stuff to watch as the pitchers and catchers work out. But in addition to that, there'll be a lot of other really fun things to do. For anyone who goes out to Hohokam Park, they're going to see some great improvements to that park. It's always been a real great place to watch a baseball game. But there have been some changes made. There's a brand new scoreboard, state-of-the-art scoreboard that I think it will impress everyone, frankly. The seats have been widened a little bit. There's been new party decks added in the outfield. Those who have driven by have seen the bright Oakland A's yellow and green colors popping out. So I think fans from California and local fans are really going to enjoy that ballpark. And as a community, we're very proud of the two outstanding spring training facilities that we have, both at the Cubs facility and at the Oakland A's facility. So again, one of the other great things about this event is there will be some fundraising there to support the Sergeant Brandon Mendoza facility that's going to be incorporated into Guerrero's Park, the Guerrero Park in Mesa. As you all, I'm sure, recall the story of Sergeant Mendoza, who was killed in a tragic accident. So we're going to continue to try to support his legacy as part of that event. That is what I had on my agenda to talk about. So again, I appreciate anything you can do to help me get the word out on those events. There's some great things happening in Mesa. Obviously, next Tuesday, I'm going to spend a good deal of time fleshing out my goals and aspirations for our city. So I look forward to going into more detail on those issues next Tuesday at the State of the City. But again, I'd be happy to talk about anything that you'd like to talk about. So does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Yes, Maria.
I was interested in your vision for downtown.
Get the mic so that the
I'm
camera
sorry.
can get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please. Thank you. There you go.
Sorry about that. I was interested in your vision for downtown and light rail area housing. I know there's been a lot of talk about what the right mix of affordable housing and market rate housing is. I know that's come up a couple times with you, but now it seems to be even more at the forefront. So.
Yeah, thank you. Housing has got to be part of the equation in downtown Mesa. We are, as you know, light rail will arrive from the Sycamore Station out past Mesa Drive this fall, and then 2 years after that all the way out to past Gilbert Road. So I was initially a little pessimistic about the merits and the value of light rail, and I'm delighted to say that I've been proved 100% wrong to be skeptical of that. Light rail is a great transportation system. We've seen a huge ridership on the light rail, but as good as it is as a transportation system, it is even better as an economic redevelopment system. So this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for us to see really noticeable, significant improvements along that downtown light rail corridor, coming from Apache into the core of our downtown city center. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and we need to manage it wisely. There is a great there's a lot of pressure to put in low-income tax credit housing along the corridor because it checks all the boxes for that type of housing. I'm an advocate of affordable housing, and you can see last week our council recommended funding for 2 new low-income tax credit housing projects along the light rail route. But at the same time, they did not recommend 2 others. And so there's a healthy debate going on right now as to what extent, what's the right balance to strike there. West Mesa right now has an abundance of affordable housing. Both the Capital A affordable housing government program, do you meet the criteria housing, but also just an organic, older neighborhoods with lots of affordable single-family homes. We do not have a critical need for additional housing, affordable housing in West Mesa. So we need to be somewhat selective in what is going to help that community the most. So I've been listening to the folks who live in West Mesa, the advocates, the folks that are fighting the fight in West Mesa, and my heart is with them, and I agree with them that we need to be, we don't need to say yes to everything. There's a lot of great opportunities along the light rail route, and we need to make sure that we manage that wisely and have high standards for what we want to see happen there. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Okay, thank you. You bet. Anything else? Yes, please.
I'm sorry, about last night at the council work session, Councilman Thompson asked a question about using GPS systems for a lot of the city vehicles.
Right.
I was wondering if you'd explain why is that used for all vehicles or just the ones that were mentioned, or do police department vehicles and fire vehicles, do they also need them, or do they have something like that?
I might have to get back to you on some of the specific answers to that, but the specific issue that was on the agenda last night was for the purchase of several GPS monitoring devices to be put into city vehicles. The reason that we do that is kind of twofold. Number one, we need to know where people are so that we can, for example, if there is an emergency or there's a call for service, not necessarily a public safety call for service, but any kind of call for service. The City of Mesa is a big city and we have a large fleet of vehicles, but we need to be able to, for the sake of efficiency, be able to identify where our vehicles are so that we can get the most timely response to any type of an emergency or just call for service. And then I think, frankly, there is an accountability aspect that comes with being entrusted with the keys to a city vehicle. Just so that we're efficient and we know that vehicles aren't in one place longer than they ought to be. It's good for us to be aware of where the city vehicles are and whether or not they're being used appropriately, and so that we can maximize the use of our fleet as much as possible. So it's a good idea, and in the 21st century, where everyone's walking around with a GPS in their pocket, it's really just the state of the art. That's information that we need to have. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, you bet. Let's put it on the mic so we know.
I'm interested in the revitalization of the Fiesta District
Mhm.
with the micro parks that are coming in.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering how you think the creation of these micro parks will revitalize the Fiesta District overall.
Great. Thanks for the question. For those who don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, we unveiled a streetscape project near the Fiesta District, in the Fiesta District, right at the Alma School and Southern intersection. And there is funding and plans to continue that streetscape project further west out towards Mesa Community College and Banner Desert Hospital. The hope is that, and that project, as you indicated, includes some pocket parks that will provide, places for people in the neighborhood to recreate and practice t-ball and do all the great things that people do in city parks. We're excited. The Fiesta District has a lot of assets going forward. When I remember just a few years ago, the corner of Alma School and Southern was considered the economic capital of Mesa, just between jobs and the financial activity that was going on at Fiesta Mall and the other malls that surround that corridor. There's no reason that it still shouldn't be. Location, location, right, is what makes a place successful. And the Fiesta District hasn't moved. It still is next to two very busy freeways. It still, in its heart, has one of the largest community colleges in the United States, a huge hospital, 2 huge hospitals, and I could go on, large office buildings, large centers of employment, lots of retail. It's still got all of those assets right there. We just need to, but the economy has changed, frankly. Large big box retail stores are not what they used to be, and that's not a problem that's unique to Mesa, Arizona. You see that every community that across the country that you're in. So we need to be proactive and we need to respond to the changing economy. We need to figure out what do you do with big box retail when that's out of fashion now. People shop in their pajamas, instead of getting in their car and going to the mall. So we're in the midst of working on that issue. One of the ways that we're trying to point out a lot of the assets that are available in that part of town is the streetscape project, where we place more emphasis on pedestrian access, widen the sidewalks, dress things up a little bit. In the process, frankly, a lot of the improvements that you're seeing in that area, you're not seeing because they're below ground. We're putting in dark fiber and other infrastructure that's going to make it more attractive for folks to come in and bring their businesses there. Large employment centers need the infrastructure that we've talked about, the fiber and the other infrastructure. So in the process of doing it and making it more attractive from a utility point of view, we can also dress up the streetscape, make it more attractive visually as well. And so that's why you're seeing the improvements along Southern, including the parks that you mentioned. Okay, thank you.
Tangled up on our report here. Let's continue this economic discussion.
Okay.
What about any more business, any of the industries coming to Mesa in 2015? Talk about that.
Thank you. I wish I could tell you everything I knew about this, but there are, we have had a great run of luck over the last couple of years with announcements of businesses coming to Mesa. That is not going to end anytime soon. I can tell you that we are in negotiations with some household name type companies that are looking to bring large employment centers to Mesa. Given the nature of that process, I can't offer, throw out names and do other things right now, but it continues to be a priority of Mesa City government. I can tell you without any exaggeration that the gateway area of Mesa is one of the best places in the country, if not the world, to locate a business. There's reasons people like Apple are in that part of Mesa. The infrastructure that's there is second to none. The amount of electricity and dark fiber and everything else that a large manufacturer is looking for is you can't get a better scenario than on the Elliott Road corridor out in the Gateway area. The same is true on the campus of the Gateway Airport. We still have 1,000 acres there that are developable. And there are tremendous advantages, tremendous incentives that are available out there because it's a closed military base, some tax savings in locating a business there that really you can't duplicate anywhere else. So because of that, it's created a magnet, and large businesses from all over the world are in active negotiation with the city and other regional recruiters to locate their businesses there. So stay tuned. There are going to be you're going to continue to see large-scale announcements of economic activity at Gateway. We're also placing increased emphasis on Falcon Field right now. You're going to see good things happen there as well, in addition to the Fiesta District and the downtown corridor that we talked about earlier, and the advent of or the arrival of light rail. The other thing that part of town that we have to talk about is the Riverview area. Just last week we had a ribbon cutting, a groundbreaking, thank you, for 2 large office buildings that are being constructed there that are already leased out. That corridor, the Price Road, the Price Freeway, and 202 corridor is just golden right now. I mean, you can, like I say, as soon as you announce you're building something there, it will be leased up. And so you're going to continue to see those buildings being erected in and around the Gateway, or the Riverview area. Also, I have to tell you, in that part of town, I recently took a tour of the nearly completed Sheraton Hotel. A year ago, they broke ground on this huge resort hotel, and they said this is going to be ready for spring training next year. And I have to tell you, I would have put money on any kind of bet that was an exaggeration and that it couldn't be happening. But I'm here to tell you that this hotel is spectacular. It's a Scottsdale quality resort hotel, has all of the resort amenities that anyone could want. Plus, frankly, it's in a far better location, again, right at the intersection of the 101 and the 202 freeway, literally 10 or 15 minutes from Sky Harbor and anywhere else you want to be. It's spectacular, and it is going to be open before spring training. So that part of Mesa is really doing very, very well. So thank you for the question. Please stay tuned. You're going to continue to see additional announcements of great economic activity in the city going forward.
So 2015 is your first full year that you're heading into
Right.
as mayor. What are some of the things you hope to accomplish first? I mean, you had those plans, and now it's like all all
Yeah.
steam forward here.
Yeah. Well, priority one remains economic development. So, but I guess I go back to what we just talked about. We're going to continue to, a lot of this work will be behind the scenes, frankly, and working with people that have the ability to create jobs in the city. Where I hope to see very visible results is, frankly, in the downtown corridor with the arrival of light rail. When the light rail doors open in October or November, I don't want people to walk out and say, "Why did we build this light rail into downtown Mesa?" There's a lot going on. We have a world-class art center that if people haven't been in, it shocks them. It's fun to take people on tour. I've taken a few business people on tours of the MAC the last couple of weeks. And my favorite part of being the mayor is standing next to somebody when I walk into the IKEA theater that hasn't been in there before. It's just a physical reaction that you get from them. It's spectacular. So we've got a lot of really great assets in downtown Mesa, but we need more destinations. We need more reasons for people to get on the light rail or to come to the park and ride and to stay and enjoy an entertainment district in downtown Mesa. So in addition to the economic development effort that we're going to have, I'm really getting a lot of fun out of recruiting restaurateurs and others to take a serious look at downtown Mesa, so that when that light rail arrives, we kind of have a perfect storm coming together. But thank you for asking. Well, if that's it, thank you for coming. Like I say, I know your time is valuable. I know there's a lot of things going on in the valley right now. It's a great time to be in the Mesa Phoenix area, isn't it? We have the spotlight of the whole world on our community. I should say that we are trying to enjoy as much of that publicity as we can. As the private jets are arriving at Falcon and Gateway with a lot of people who have a lot of money to spend, our economic development people are standing there to shake their hands and hand them a fruit basket and tell them how great Mesa is. So we're looking forward to a lot of good publicity for Mesa and for the entire valley this next week, between all of the great world-class events that are here. And so I appreciate your attention and look forward to the next week or two and all the great things that are happening in the city of Mesa. So thanks for being here.